Hey everybody, welcome to Friday Night Greg. Before we get started, I wanted to do I'm out of breath. Jesus Christ, I'm out of breath. I ran like a maniac. I just wanted to get, I gotta do the business. Here's the business, baby. Subscribe to that Patreon if you like me. It'd be nice. I don't push it enough. There's so much goddamn funny content on there. I know I recorded about an hour of the new Batman where I just talk over it. So that's a real fun thing to do. You put the audio, you watch the Batman, you hear me just, I don't know what. I'll be honest with you, I really don't remember. I've had a few people tell me they loved it, but I don't remember what it was. I blacked out. I was blacked out stoned. Bunch of old rad dudecast Patreon. There's a ton of content for your money and for your money. That's a deal. I should have waited till I could breathe before I did this. Also, get over, follow me on TikTok and Instagram, Greg F. Stone. And follow the regulars who show up here a lot, like Sam Evans. He's at Sam?
At Really Sam Evans.
Yeah, at Really Sam Evans. And Doug Smith, who will be joining us today, and at Max Marcus Comedy Clips. Another great way to support, and that's really what this is about. It's about the support really gets to keep the podcast going. And I don't know, I was just looking at my kid the other day, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this with you, buddy. I might have to go work for UPS. I mean, it'd be a great job working for UPS. But I don't want to work for UPS, so...
Support Greg.
And I have a bunch of T-shirts on Teespring, a bunch of old Rad Dudecast T-shirts that you could buy. I split that money. Why do you care about who I split the money with? And then there's some Friday Night Greg and Greg Stone T-shirts. All that support really helps. If you don't have the money, don't worry about it. But if you do and you want to be part of the revolution, that's how you do it. And I bring you now Friday Night Greg.
Pick up your head, pick up your body, get on the bus, it's time to party, it's Gregory, it is a Friday Night Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on, get in the car and drive on.
Wow.
Welcome to Friday Night Greg. I am your guest host, Sam Evans. Greg could not make it this week, but luckily we did have a last-minute guest step in. It's Greg Stone, everybody. Comedy's Greg Stone.
Got you son of a bitches. I'm still here.
Yeah,
you can't kill me.
They can't kill me. They can't kill me. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger.
What doesn't kill me makes me gayer. That's what I always believe.
That's what you say?
That's what I do. Every time I have like a heart attack, I've had like 3. Every time I have like
you
some
have
kind of
not
stroke,
had 3 heart attacks.
I've had 3 heart attacks and 4 strokes. And every time I wake up at that hospital, I'm a little bit gayer.
I'm gayer.
I go, doctor. He goes, you're alive. And I go, doctor.
My butt hurts.
Show me those lips and shut those eyes.
That beautiful, almost kissing of the lips sound that you heard to start off today's episode was me opening a bottle of Barrel Finish Select from Woodford Reserve, double oaked Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey, finished in a second oak barrel. We've got 45.2% alcohol by volume. That's 90.4 proof.
I got to do a shout out to who gave it to us. Shout out to Pete, Rev Pete, and oh God, what's the name of his restaurant that he works at? Not the Pendleton. Well, the Bonnie is one of the restaurants. They always hook me up, but it's owned by the same people. The Pentagram?
I've never been to the Pentagram.
The Pensacola. Fuck, I should have known this before. Where's my phone? Anyway.
But one of the places they own is the Bonnie, which is a bar.
Right. And we're going to put them in the, we'll put them, I'll link you.
I'll keep talking, and you look up the place.
The Penrose.
The Penrose.
The Penrose in New York. My man Pete. He's running that place,
and he hooked you up with this.
He bought me some. He got us. He said, "You got to have a good whiskey," and that's when he got us this. What's it called?
It's Woodford Reserve. They're double oaked.
I love when they bring wood into alcohol.
Yeah, 100%.
Wood just makes it more delicious.
Here's how you can tell it's good. Ready?
Oh.
Right? Doesn't it just sound like a tight little... What if we just became Foley artists on this episode?
I would be. I don't know what that means, but I understand it.
Can I tell you, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there is a woman whose Instagram account I follow, and she's just a Foley artist. You know what that is? Like,
no.
Does sound effects for movies. So she just has a workshop where she just has a bunch of random shit to make different kinds of sounds.
Yeah.
And she'll show videos of her at work where she plays the movie along, and then she just has high quality microphones set up by like her feet.
Yeah.
So she's trying to do like somebody walking across gravel. And it's just her walking in place over rocks. It's so crazy. It's so cool.
I'm gonna tell a story.
Okay. And I do.
Well, we're gonna save that. Let's do the whiskey. Let's do the whiskey review first.
Okay.
Then I'll do a story, and you do the sound effects, or we'll do vice versa. Whatever matters.
Okay. Well,
right, let's.
Have you taken a sip yet? I
No.
haven't. Here, wait. Oh, no.
Smell it. I like the smell. Oh.
Wait. Oh, that's nice.
You know what this smells like?
Whiskey.
It smells like right before I'm about to throw up
It smells like cut
from a
to.
party. Yeah, this smells like the beginning. Oh, it smells good. It smells like wood. It doesn't smell anything like wood.
It's because it comes from wood.
Hey, doggy. Hey, Dalia. You're the girl for me. Oh. What's it taste like? Burns a little.
It's almost a little caramely.
Where do you taste caramel?
Like just an afternote of like a sweetness.
Afternote.
Yeah.
You're gay.
No, I'm getting
Aftertaste?
Yes, like
When
light.
did you become some hodgepodge son of a bitch?
Hold on. You can't say we're going to do a whiskey review and then I give my honest assessment and you're like, "You're gay." That's gay.
Well, because you said words that make me think that you think you're better than me. That's what I got from that.
I don't think I'm better than you. I think that's my honest assessment of this.
That should be the shirt.
I think you think you're better than me.
I think you think you're better than me.
I don't think that.
These people think they're all better than me. Let's say it again.
I can't believe you think that I think that I'm better than you.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
It is good.
It burns, but it's a good fire, you know? It's like the fires of hell. It's where I'm welcome, you know? I've sinned so much in my life, and now I'm not going to heaven. I'm walking straight to the depths of Dante's Inferno, and the flames don't burn me. They welcome me.
I will say, and I know
I don't think you were listening to what
I was listening. I welcome in hell. It's where it burns. I understand. I took another good sip of it. I will say I'm not normally a Kentucky bourbon guy, and this is very good. It's
You're usually
really,
a Kentucky bourbon girl. That's what I'm talking about. High five to myself. That's a girl. That's a girl if I've ever seen one.
That's your catchphrase for this episode.
That's a girl if I've ever seen one. What was the catchphrase from last week?
Sweet spot. That's my sweet spot.
And
mine was, you got a problem.
that's my sweet spot.
And I think Elle's was, I'm gonna beat your face.
Don't bring up that name again. She has
No,
been,
let's talk about
fired.
this.
She's been fired from the
That was very funny. And honestly, be frank, there was a lot of feedback when you posted that
Oh,
clip.
they loved it. I loved it too. It's funny.
Yeah, it was very funny.
That doesn't mean she has been fired and will never return.
She's gonna come back.
I told every comedy club, if you book her, you unbook me. She's banned from the team. Doug's here. Can you buzz him in? He's 2 blocks away. Don't buzz him in. That was a missed text. No, I love Elle, and she'll be back. I just didn't ask her today because we have another guest.
That's right.
And I like to rotate because if I keep you on, if I keep using you guys consistently, at some point I'm going to have to start paying you.
Yes.
So it's like one of those low-wage things.
Yeah.
Where if it's every other episode.
Do you think that's why I'm on more than anybody is just because I'm too dumb to ever think to ask for money?
Too dumb, too nice.
Too
It's
dumb,
a great combination
nice,
of a free podcast guest.
I'm around, man. You give me whiskey, you give me toys, I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. You want your money. You sell that figure we had last time.
Oh,
That
was
thing's
nice.
doing well on the aftermarket, my friend.
Is it really?
Oh.
Have you sold yours?
No, it's too fresh. It's too nice. It's like $300 now, maybe more.
I might sell it.
Ah,
What?
I guess.
You told me I could sell it.
What do you have planned for the podcast today?
What do I have planned for the podcast today? I got the action figure reviews. What do you have planned? And then I have a thing where you tell a story and I do Foley art for the story.
Oh, I got a new Wolverine. I forgot. I bought this when I was high, and then I received it when I was high, and I didn't know I had it.
Is it just a Wolverine head?
I think I forgot the body. He
Give
must
me-
be home.
Give me the head.
That's a head. I'll roll him to your way.
That's the old school Wolverine too.
Well-
No, it's old man Wolverine.
No, it's still.
Because old school Wolverine, correct me if I'm wrong, in the comic books, he wasn't just yellow and black, right? He was different colors. It was like a red-ish maroon. Am I going crazy?
The first
You know what I'm
Wolverine appearance.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. The first Wolverine appearance.
Yes.
This is pre-cartoon. It was the yellow, and he had black stripes. He had whiskers on his mask.
Oh, I hate that.
Ugly as sin.
Yeah.
They then changed it. Then I think might have been the brown costume next. But either way, the cartoon.
Yes, it was
the
a
yellow.
brownish, right?
Right. And that one is not. That's technically from, I believe, Hickman's run, where it was more brown where the black is, and like an orangey yellow with a newer school costume. But we don't have that figure to look at, so what are we talking about? And this guy, he's the star of my YouTube videos for perverted Iron Man.
Tony Stark.
Oh, Tony Stark. Hey, man, what are you doing? You guys want to party with me?
Oh, Iron Man.
I'm the dirtiest boy in the game. I'm a ninja, and
I like to fight too with a sword.
Here's what I don't like about perverted Iron Man. He has one hand that's a fist, and one hand that's open as if to grope.
He's a groper. There's
And
a
he's
grouper.
like, you let me grope, or I'm gonna punch you.
You know what I
That's
mean? You get this.
You get this,
Or you get this.
You got a choice.
This or this.
Yeah.
What do you want? You want the fond or you want the fist? The fondulation. And then we got this guy. This guy, he was Baron Zemo. He's a Nazi. Do you think you could play anymore?
With toys?
Yeah.
That's a great question, and I don't know.
Right?
I've had that before with do you ever go to like a kid's house? That sounds so bad.
Yeah.
You ever go to like you end up at a person's house and they have a child there, and there's a tub of Legos.
Yeah.
Which was my toy of choice as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I could kill, no joke, 8 hours with just a tub of Legos.
Legos are great.
And then I sit next to a tub of Legos now, and it just doesn't come
Right.
the way, and it makes me sad. You know,
That's why I tell people, like, play.
play.
It keeps the imagination going.
Yeah.
This idea that it's only for kids is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like really just get on the floor
Yeah.
and start like jamming, but I kind of wish I do.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I'll look at them and I'll be like, I'll think of stories. I'll be like, all right, why is Baron Zemo and old Flathead
Yeah.
here? Why are they talking? You know? And I go, they got a deal, right? The Nazi army that is Baron Zemo has got old Flathead or Hammerhead. They're working him in. Doug Smith. Welcome to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Comedy's Doug Smith.
Comedies. He said he was going to be a little late, and he's exactly the time he said he would be.
A little late.
We could have waited, but we didn't. I already plugged you, so don't worry about it.
Already plugged me? What'd you plug?
Follow Doug Smith on Instagram.
There we go.
Is it who, Doug Smith?
It is.
Fucking knew it.
'Cause
Goddamn
nobody
mustache.
knows.
Doug Smith. Let me tell you about Doug Smith. I probably brought this up before. Secretly, one of the most handsome men I've ever met.
He's very handsome.
Doesn't
Secretly?
I don't think that you walk around holding yourself.
You have an understated handsomeness.
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
I just got taken down a peg at Eastville because I walked in there and the bartender goes, "Are you okay? You have a black eye." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "No, I don't." She was like, "Yeah, you do." And I was like, "Maybe I smudged some grease under my." And I went in the bathroom, nothing. I was like, "Way to tell me I look tired."
yeah.
Yeah, I guess you just have fucking bags under your eyes.
I bet it was the light. You don't look that bad right now. Wait, turn to the right. Turn to the right. Turn to the right.
I know
Let me
exactly.
see.
right?
Let me. No. I want to see this eye.
Which eye?
The other one. Turn.
The one?
It does look slightly darker. I will say that.
I know exactly what happened here.
What happened?
It's quite obvious what
The
happened.
sun.
First of all, you will notice he's not wearing a wedding ring. Right?
Uh-oh.
Now, I know you're still married, right? I would have got that email, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost it last summer.
Me too.
The ocean,
I do
man.
the, really?
The ocean
I swallowed
right
mine.
off me. You swallowed
I
yours?
saw this hot girl, and I was like, oh. That's a bit I do on stage. What are we talking about? She saw no wedding ring, and she went, oh, my God, the handsomest man who's also related to, I believe, Grant Hill. That's
Grant Hill, that's the one.
Not Grant Hill.
Horace Grant.
Who are you related to?
Hugh Grant.
No, the president. Dr. Grant.
Ulysses.
Ulysses S. Grant.
Tales of Brave Ulysses.
Not only is he single and related to USS Grant, she goes, I got to make this happen. How you make it happen? She negs you. She takes you down to her level. She goes, you got two black eyes. Maybe you'll fuck a girl like me. Then you go, I got low self-esteem. I can't do any better than this lowly, I'm going to say fat bitch waitress. I've never seen her. I don't know who she is. So that's what she tried to do, take you down
How
a
does
peg.
she listen
Yeah,
to this
yeah,
podcast, Greg?
I have no idea
Greg,
what it
don't
is.
call me a fat bitch for like no reason.
I know that you can't fat shame, but if fat bitch isn't one of the funniest things to call somebody.
I am firmly in the camp of if somebody is bad, you can say mean things to them.
Right.
I think that's okay.
That's how you justify the N-word? Yeah, I hear you.
What's the end?
All right, there's a line, Doug. Damn it.
Wait. What's the N-word?
We can call R. Kelly the no.
Which N-word?
The racial
Ninny Muggins.
That's like an Adam Sandler joke. That's like a joke from Big Daddy. Y'all saying the N-word? You ninny
Yeah, and
muggins.
the kid's like, "What's the N word?" And he's like, "It's ninny."
Welcome, Doug. Well, so he's the host. I'm not. That's the way the podcast works
You're
now.
bowing out.
That's what I am. That's why I said
Second
is
banana now?
I don't host anymore.
Yeah.
I hate it.
He's overrated. It's a lot
hate
of
it.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't drink, right?
I don't anymore.
God
I figured
bless.
you guys were going to be smoking. I thought there was going to be clouds of fucking indica in here.
Chiba?
Yeah.
I'm a
When
Chiba
did-
man, but I can't perform high. That's why I don't.
I don't mean to pry. When did you stop drinking, Doug?
It'll be 3 years in September.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Any reason? We don't have to.
I wish I had a crazy rock bottom. No, I just I took one night off after 20 years of daily drinking.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even drinking a lot. It was just like one
wouldn't
or
ha-
two beers a day.
Yeah,
one or
you'd
two
have a
glasses
drink.
of wine, just enough to feel tired and bloated and spend money frivolously. Mm-hmm. And I took one night off and had a great night's sleep, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You had abs the next day. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then it was just one day turned into another, and it wasn't anything like cold turkey. I'm done with this. It just kind of happened.
That's like the opposite of that's like rock upper middle, you know? You're like, let's see how good,
Yeah.
let's see how good this
Yeah.
gets.
Yeah,
But that's good for you because then you don't have to worry about being sober, so you can still smoke weed and stuff.
True.
You know, you don't have to worry like, oh, geez, if I touch this again, I'm going to be, sucking the tailpipe off a Honda Elantra.
I mean, yeah, I don't need booze to do that. But there was always overlap anyway. You know what I mean? And I also realized that all the good feelings that I was getting were primarily from weed anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the booze was just a little icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's true.
I
I miss it.
was drinking a lot, and it just gets me too crazy and horny. So I stopped. I said, I'm only going to drink every now and again.
Yeah.
And when I drink every now and again, it's the best.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll just do it's not fun when I'm drinking every day.
Right.
But when I go on a podcast and I have one or two and I'm flying through space, I'm like, great. But weed makes me creative and fun.
Yeah.
But I think it makes me bad on a podcast, although I refuse to acknowledge
Yeah.
that. So I
It
just
makes me super chatty, man.
really.
Yeah.
Do you have weed? Go get high.
I left my fucking bag at Eastville. I did. That's what I was looking forward to.
Oh, I probably Max. Do you have any weed?
No, I don't have any weed on me.
Oh, do you want some of this Woodford? It's your ice is
Oh
melting.
yeah, I would take some Woodford.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what he does.
Max.
This guy, he's all takers. He's nothing, no givers.
Stuff too.
Ah, shit. And I didn't bring my jacket.
Oh, don't worry, man. It's all good.
Easy.
What?
It's the
That's
producer.
That's a good
You give him a producer's cut, okay? This guy's still got to run a podcast. What? The cap?
Yeah, I lost the cap, but I got it back on. Well, here's to you guys.
Yeah, here's
Doug,
to
I'm
you.
sorry that you don't have. Well, you got
Drink your
LaCroix.
Fucking LaCroix.
That's all I need. That's all I need. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're not touch me.
Can I tell you this? I got on Hinge today. Started Hinge.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Why'd you set that up like a bit?
Were you ever on the dating apps? I've been with my lady for 16 years, so
Yeah.
I never was on a dating app.
I really hoped I would never have to be, but here
This
I am.
is your first one.
I was on Tinder for all of 48 hours, like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then maybe 12 years ago, I was on Hinge for like 2 weeks because of Maria Heinig.
Right.
Yeah.
Why Maria Heineck?
She was like, you got to get on it.
Did you? All right.
And What's
so
what's the gimmick with Hinge? What sets Hinge apart from Tinder or
It's like,
any other?
I think it's pretty good. It's like you put all your pictures up, but then instead of like just filling out a profile, there's like you can select questions to answer. So they have these prompts like, an interesting thing to know about me is debate me on the following.
yeah.
I would never do good on those because on paper, I'm the worst.
That's what I think too. Not about you, but about myself. I don't present well on paper.
On paper,
Yeah.
I'm overweight. I'm an action figure collector.
you say that on the paper?
I usually
Yeah.
tell that people. I
That's
go,
what you
I'm
leave
a little fat. I go, I'm a little fat, but I'm fun. You know,
Bottom skills include overweight.
I don't photo well. I don't photograph well. I'm a comedian.
On a photo.
You know, I'm pro life.
Abortion? Oh.
Yeah, I'm very pro life, but the life. I'm not pro life. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Everybody says don't say you're a comedian.
gotta
on
hang
that
with
thing,
me.
and I don't say it. Right? I don't even have a picture of me holding a mic on stage or anything like that. But then a bunch of the women that I've matched with now, they're like, "Oh, I love comedy." And it's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
You're like, here's a picture of me fucking a stool.
Right.
and if you think that stool's getting fucked good,
I think if you are a comedian, a professional comedian, as we are, you say you are.
okay,
You have to. That's your job. That's your life.
Yeah.
If you're a guy who's a bafangul comedian, you don't say it, right? Because then you're gonna what? You're gonna hide it from them. No, you're a comedian. I would put my tape. My Hinge profile would just be my crowd work videos. And they go, look how many hits. Opening, like, mine's Greg. I got 3.5 million views on YouTube. What does your ex-boyfriend got? It's always about coming after their ex-boyfriends.
They're like a retirement account,
I know.
savings. No, I feel like yeah, you should tell them you're a comedian.
Yeah, I'll
'Cause that's
let it-
That's a lifestyle they got to be able to get on board with.
oh yeah, I'll let it. I mean, I'm going to tell them
Yeah.
quickly. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to like broadcast it. It feels weird to broadcast it. I don't know why.
I get why.
Yeah.
Because most people who are broadcasting it aren't real comedians.
Yeah.
They're like,
or
I'm a
good.
comedian.
Yeah, they're
good.
like arrogant and full of themselves. Yeah.
Right. You're good, and it's something you spend more than 8 or 9 hours a day doing.
Yeah.
So, like, what they're going to figure it out? Like, what do you do for a living? You're going to go, you have to lie now.
Yeah.
You know? I used to tell every girl I was dating that I didn't collect action figures. And I used to take them all down, and then they'd come over, and they would just be there'd be nothing on my shelves, nothing on the walls. And then they'd find out later. Well, at one time, the girl found out later, and then she broke up with me. So it's like, what am I doing? When I met Tita, who's my wife, I got in her face. I was like, I collect action figures. I do comedy. I'm not stopping either. If you're in board, get on board. If you're not, see you later. And she went, I find that all interesting. And I went, fuck you, you bitch. 10 years later, we're married. I waited 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Great.
Did you really get in her face? No, but you were very upset.
Screaming.
You handed her one. You're like, play with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Actually-
crying. She's like, it's cool. Stop yelling.
Before you got, we were talking about something that I'll open to you. Can you play? Can you still play? Like, if I handed you a toy, do you think you could still play with a toy?
Yeah, I play with toys all the time.
Oh,
Because the
basically.
kid.
I have to.
Yeah, you have.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what's gonna make you a great dad. Your kid is probably gonna fucking throw in the towel playing with toys because he's not as inventive as you are.
No, but I'm going to set him up.
Yeah.
I'll be like, that's Larry. What does Larry do? And then he'll be like, Larry's dumb. I'm like, no. Dig deeper, dog. Go to your room.
Origin story.
need
Come
an
up
origin
with
story.
one now.
No.
How did Larry's
Rewrite.
parents die?
Yeah. Make it more serious.
And tell me what race they are. I'm always like, tell me the race.
That's some of my happiest early childhood memories is playing with my older brother with toys and doing like mixed genre toys like
best.
like action figures meet stuffed animals meet Legos like giant all character ensuing adventure. Mm-hmm. It's great.
G.I. Joe and Ninja Turtle hanging. My brother used to do a figure, G.I. Joe Viper, and he used to call it Python's Place. The guy's name was Python or something. And he owned a bar, and all of the other toys hung out at the bar.
That's awesome.
And that's a TV show.
Yeah, you just made Cheers with G.I. Joe.
Yeah. And they'd all be like, well, why is Ninja Turtle and Shredder? Like, it doesn't matter. They were all hanging out there. And here's how my brother would play. One, as soon as my guy would come in, he'd shoot them and kill them. Or if I was like, stop doing that, he'd shoot and kill himself. So then he would stop playing. And then I'm just in the bar alone with no one to play with.
That's so funny.
Yeah. My dumb brother. He would take all his, I don't know if I ever told you this, he would take all his figures. He would never let me play with his toys.
Mm-hmm.
He would take them to bed with him and put them in the pillowcase. So I couldn't get to his toys. So not only was I not allowed to play with his guys, he wouldn't let me when he went to sleep. Yeah, real piece
Wow.
of shit.
The nihilism of can I tell you what my older brother? It reminded me. It's different, but it's in the same spirit. Mm-hmm. My older brother, I used to like if you were eating pretzels, chips, any kind of snappable cracker type snack. You pick up one and you have it in your hand. As you bring it to your mouth, my older brother would just reach over and go, not take it, just crush it,
Crush it.
and let it go. Just the most nihilistic. Like, no, you can't have it. So good.
Yeah, that is good.
In my town, my friend Tom, I don't know what was his last name, his older brother, we had a thing that was called fumbling. And they came from his family. It was if you had a donut, and I remember any kind of food, right before you had to bite it, you didn't even see these people. They would kick it out of your hand. And they try to fumble it. And like it became such a thing that was like fun. And then you do that to someone who isn't like ingrained in that, they are furious. I kicked a roast beef sandwich out of a girl's hand once that I was on a date with. She was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, fumbling.
You were on a date with this
Fumbling.
girl?
Begging you. I thought you liked that.
Don't ask any more questions. I made it up.
Oh, okay.
And the fumbling thing, no. But I kicked a roast beef sandwich out of someone's hand. But I remember one time I had a donut. It was a Boston cream donut. I hadn't eaten all day. And my friend Tom goes, here you go. Gives it to me. I take it. I was like, oh my God. Right as it's about to touch my lips. I'm looking at Tom. He's 15 feet away. A foot out of his, hits my hand. It flies through the air, lands into the recycling bin, which was all Budweiser's. I look over. It was his older fucking brother, Vinny, kicked it out of my fucking hand. I was like, and I looked at it. It was like, it's in soot now. And I'm like, I can't eat this. And he was like, and he got me. I'm like, you piece of shit. It's called fumbling.
That's so funny.
You
It's
want to
the
know what
worst.
my older brother did?
What?
I got you guys beat by a mile.
Please don't say rape.
Sick shit.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Forget it.
Was that the joke?
We just shaved 5 minutes off the podcast.
Did I just burn your joke?
No.
Oh,
So I think you know this. I have 3 siblings, all much older than me. So
Yeah.
one of my older brothers, 16 years older than me.
Yeah.
I'm 4 at the time. He's 20. He's still living at home. He moved out like a year later. He was like, this looked like going to fucking Jason Bourne's house because he had like all kinds of pistols and shit. As a 20-year-old, he had throwing stars, throwing knives.
I've
just
met
a
those
whole
guys
fucking
before.
Arsenal of weapons.
Yeah, they've just got a lot of.
So of course I'm fascinated. I spent as much time in his room as I possibly could.
Yes.
Real guns? Like real guns?
I
Sorry.
thought so. I
Okay,
thought
okay.
so. So I go into his room one night and he hands me a pistol.
Oh my God.
And he gets down on his knees across the room and he says, I want you to shoot me. And I'm like, I'm not going to shoot you. You're my brother. And he's like, no, if you love me, you'll shoot me. I'm 4 years old. I'm like, no, I'm not going to shoot you. He's like, Douglas, shoot me. If you love me, you'll shoot me. So I lift the gun. I've got my eyes.
Oh my
gun is
God.
trembling. I aim the gun at him. I pull the trigger. It just makes a click sound. I know nothing about guns
Right.
and real guns.
Yeah.
He has fake blood capsules in his mouth. The second the gun makes a click, he bites the fake blood capsule. I open my eyes. I see blood trickling out of his mouth, and he rolls his eyes back in his head and flops over to the side. I drop the gun. I start screaming.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
He pops up. He's like, no, it's fake. It's fake. I make a beeline out of the room. I'm bolting down the stairs to tell my mom. He jumps over me as I'm running down the stairs to try to get to her before me.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, Steven made me shit. And he was like, it was fake. It was fake. It was a BB gun. It was blood capsules. She was fucking furious. And I
bet.
never, yeah. I mean, like,
Well, furious at who? I mean, you just
he moved out shortly after.
furious at you for murdering your brother? Or him for making you
Furious
murder?
at me. Furious at him. Furious at him. I didn't do anything wrong. Well,
You didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you pulled the trigger.
I did go through it.
At some point, you walk away. At 4, you did it. You're a ride or die.
I did, right?
Man, it's some depression shit right there.
And I tell him about this all the time. It's as like, I kind of just to get under his skin. Like, you remember what you did to me? He denies it to this.
What?
I didn't do that. It's like, dude, why would I fucking make that up?
Also, he's
Vivid
60.
memories.
He's like 60 now.
Close to it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He denies it, the piece of shit.
Denies it. Denies it.
That's wild.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't believe he denies it.
Want a fig?
Some people do that.
Here, take a fig. Have a woman.
My dad does that. I mean, this is not even near the story, but my dad does that. My mom claims that they went to see John Denver, her and my dad. It was like an early date as like a young couple before they were married. And she was like, I was a nurse at the time, and I had a nursing friend that gave us special brownies. And I was like, nuh-uh. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, did you get really high? And she was like, I don't remember feeling it, but your father. Oh, my God. And I asked my dad, and he was like, I've never seen John Denver live. I was like, there's no way you don't remember. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just started getting high. For like, again.
Well,
like, for real.
I'll tell you this: is Steve Rogers gave me, and you guys know, he gave me a 5 milligram edible. That's not a lot.
No.
That's not a lot. I had
Even for somebody who doesn't dabble with weed, that's not really even going to make a dent.
and I have
Right.
I have had a 5 milligram edible before. I'm telling you, man, I had a not quite a panic attack, but like pretty close. I had a
Yeah.
rough night by myself. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because usually I can do that. I can do two. I always do 2.5 to a 5 milligram edible. I'm like, this will be fine. I'm okay.
Right.
You know, it'll take me right to the edge where I'm like, maybe I think I'm too high, and then as soon as I feel that way, I'm okay. But this one was rough.
This is what degenerate I am. I didn't even know they made 5 milligram.
I know.
edibles.
It's like a
I
nickel.
was like 50 was the minimum.
I do. Yeah.
What can you take
What can I take?
on like a normal, like, I'm going to just get high?
I can take a 50.
You can take a 50?
Yeah, I don't get freaked out. I feel like I handle. I mean, now I can handle a 50. I had to work my way.
Oh, yeah, I can't. 50 will.
You can
and
do
I
a
don't
50.
mean by dose just taking it over and over and over again and just kind of getting used to the feeling.
Yeah.
I never told you about what happened the night that I took an edible after my Conan set. I never
Wait,
told you about.
pause this. I want to hear that, but just because my ADHD is bad, I need to know. Were you there the day we took the pot brownies with Andrew Short in Jess Watkins' house? And then there was, I'll tell the story after you, but were you there? And there was like, Anthony was there.
Was Andrew doing his whole, oh my God, I'm so high, Hitler, AIDS, 9/11.
He does that always. If you weren't there, okay, I'll whatever. But anyway,
Maybe.
tell me about Conan. And then we saw a guy doing Tai Chi outside. It freaked everyone out. It's like 3 a.m. There's a guy doing Tai Chi. And they were like, we're just going to go outside. Everything's going to be fine. It's just outside. We went outside and there's a guy doing Tai Chi and I went, why is that happening? It was freaked me out. Tell me about your Conan set.
So, 2016, I fly out to LA first late night spot. Matt Wayne, big shout out to Matt Wayne, gives me a Tootsie Roll edible. I think there was like some comic at the time that was like selling them or making them.
Yep.
I know exactly who it is. The guy
never
Sam, he used
Glasses.
to hand out edibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to twist them up in like a Tootsie Roll type thing.
Yes. So I had heard about this guy. I had never met him. I had never eaten any of his Eddies before, and Matt gave me one as like a parting gift. He was like, "Here, rock this after your set, celebrate." So I do the set. It's like they tape at like 4:00 in the afternoon. I get some In-N-Out burger on my way back to the hotel room, and my plan is to like pop this edible, chill by the pool, just like enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and then watch my set at night. It also goes to show you what a lonely existence I have. Most people like have like a watch party. It's like just alone in my hotel room.
No, who would want that? A party and everyone watch me? Oh, I'd kill myself.
Yeah, I know. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So I take this thing, and then I totally forgot about the time difference, East Coast, West Coast. And so I'm watching television. I have it on TBS, and they're like, this is like 6, 7 o'clock. They're like, next up, Conan. I was like, what? It's not supposed to be on till 11:30. And I'm like, I'm peak high right now. I'm like, I wanted this to wear off before I watch the set. I don't want to watch this fucking momentous occasion, sky high.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. I thought I had 3 more hours,
Yeah.
So I'm just fucking pounding water, just trying to sober up. Nothing is helping. I'm just, the high is just increasing. This is one of those 50 milligram Tootsies. And then, so sure enough, the show starts, and I'm just like, I'm freaking out. I'm pacing around the hotel room. I'm like, I cannot fucking handle watching this. And it goes to commercial. He's about to go to commercial, but he's like, next up, stand-up comedy from Doug Smith. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is going to be the worst experience of my life. And so it comes back from commercial. He announces me. I go out, and I watch myself doing my first late-night set. And I heard no laughter at all.
Oh, my God.
Nothing, dude, nothing. And
But during this set, like you finished the set.
I felt great.
And you were
after
like,
this.
that was good.
I felt great.
Yeah.
I was fucking riding high. I felt like I nailed it. I felt awesome.
Yeah.
But while I was watching it,
You're just.
I was
Of course.
like, I guess the last 7 years of my life were a complete sham. Now this is how I find out. I'm a fucking fraud. I'm a phony. I'm going to have to go back home and resume my dog walking career, which I did anyway. And I was like, this is the most humiliating moment. All my friends, family, everybody who's been supporting me for 7 years is watching me fucking bomb on national television. It was the sickest feeling I've ever had in my life. And I turned off the television, and I just lay in bed just staring at my ceiling fan like fucking Apocalypse Now, just trembling with just the worst feelings in the world. All I wanted to do was hop in the shower. I still had a full face of makeup. All I wanted to do was take a shower. But I was shaking so violently, I thought I was going to slip and fucking crack my head open and die in the bathtub. So I'm just lying in bed trying to shake off this high. Finally, after like an hour, I was like so convinced I was going to die. It's like, I can't, and that's always been a fear of mine, just dying alone in a hotel room, which is a very valid concern.
As
it
a
happens
comedian.
all the time.
Yeah.
So I go down to the lobby. I was like, if I want to die in front of a bunch of people. There's a whole field trip of like middle schoolers there for like Universal Studios. I'm like, I'll die in front of these middle schoolers. They'll help me out. And I'm just down there, just chugging water, pissing every 5 minutes. Finally, at like 2:00 in the morning, I go back up to my hotel room. All I want to do is like be able to like watch the set in a sober state. Finally, like 5:00 in the morning, it's online. I watched it. I was like, all right, I think that was okay. Watched it again. I was like, I think that's okay. And finally, like that morning, some texts started rolling in of people being like, hey, you nailed it, man. You did great. But that night was absolute existential crisis, thinking that I was completely delusional. Which we all fear anyway.
Yes.
This is the thing I learned about weed, which I didn't know. Pre-weed, I was known as the guy who loves every single movie. Every movie I've ever watched, I loved it. If I get high and watch movies now, I didn't realize this is a thing. It makes me see through. I like them less. I see through the bullshit. I notice every little tweak, and I'm like, I can't. You see things too much, and they're not good anymore. So I don't watch movies high unless they're like I was just watching the Batman. I love that movie in theaters. I was watching it high. I'm like, I don't think I like it as much. So I got to watch cartoons and shit because you start seeing things that necessarily don't exist, and you see the acting, and you see. So it's like it's not good to watch. In my opinion, humans high. I tried to watch it, my act high, and I went, no, you're not doing this ever again. You're not good at this. You're not good at anything.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
You give thumbs down on your own YouTube videos.
Did I ever tell you this one? This might be a thing. And let me know. Did I finish? Am I cutting people off?
No.
Tell me.
When I used to live in Sunnyside, it was one of the first times I ever got high. I was so high, and I was like, I'm gonna just I walked in the park, and I saw these kids playing, and I was like, man, it's so nice. I was like, this is nice. I'm gonna just watch these kids play, soak in the energy. You know, I'm watching the kids play. I'm feeling the energy. Cop taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "What are you doing, sir?" And I was like, "I'm just watching the kids play." I think I actually said, "I'm just watching the children." And he goes,
Worse.
Yeah. He goes, "You can't do that." And I went,
Actually, you can, though. Not to be this guy, but like you can just watch kids play.
actually, you can't.
Oh, really?
There was a sign that
Really?
said, "No adults without kids allowed in the park." For that very.
Were you in the park? Or were you
Oh,
on
I
the
was
perimeter?
in the park.
Gripping the wrought iron fence, salivating.
I was at a bench just watching the children with like it was like two kids too, and they're just like, "Who's this guy?" And I was like, go, run, child." And the cop was like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Man, I'm so high," and he's like, "You can't do that either." And he's like, "You gotta go," and he made me leave.
He's like, "Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?"
But I was like, "Yeah, like a lot of parks in New York, you actually just can't be there without a kid."
No.
Yeah,
Those signs are so unnerving, aren't they?
they really are.
It's like,
They've got those signs
people,
at dog parks, even.
People do this enough that they have to put signs up.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
It's horrifying.
do what? They get real high and watch the children try to find love again?
No,
Yes,
no,
I
they
mean,
try to-
people go into
They try
playgrounds
to
and
diddle kids at a playground, man.
Well, it should say no diddling. It should say only window shopping.
You think there needs to be a sign for that?
Yeah. No pedophilia, brother. But enjoy the kid's life and youth if that's what you need.
they should get an old Bo Diddley concert poster. Turn the B into an N.
No,
Diddley.
It's him holding up a finger.
I should ask. I should be like, well, can I go down the block and watch with binoculars? Can I do that? That's nicer. I thought that was funnier than Sam thought.
No, actually, I'm trying to think. Technically, that would be legal, but so much worse.
So much weirder.
Yeah.
It is crazy that they have those at dog parks too.
That's
Yeah.
what I don't get. They have
Yeah.
a-
Can't. Well,
You
just
can't be
watch
here if
the
you're
dog.
not with a dog. And it's
Why?
like, what? I can't just be around dogs?
It's like, all right, I have to go steal a dog now.
right. That's how I feel. Like I just got to go steal a kid now.
Yeah.
You know. But that's the thing. A lot of places can't have dogs, so that's what dog parks are for. Let me play with the dog. Let me play with other people's dogs.
Right.
If they ask, be like, "Oh my God, where is he?" He ran.
Hey, did you see?
I did, and I chose to ignore it.
It's funny.
Let me tell you this.
It's funny.
Making figures have sex, that's 101. That is adult toy. That is go up to a comedian and you go, I don't know. What do they say to comedians? They go,
Hey.
do a joke.
One time I was
Actually, it looks pretty good. That's pretty. Also, let's not see. I'm very big on posing. If you want to make them have sex, who has sex like this with legs like this? That doesn't work.
brother.
He's got to put it up
Brother, let me tell you what.
and he's got to point the toes.
I'll teach you a thing or two about bending some legs back.
And then this guy's got to be in here. He's got to be, he's got to.
What about characters masturbating?
Whoa,
That's too
that's
filthy
fun.
with that woman.
Doug. Nice job. What character is that, Greg?
That's Moira McTaggart.
Moira
She's
McTaggart.
X-Men fella. I do not like that you guys are degrading my. I don't like you're degrading my toys here.
Yeah, Spider-Man's.
What's the highest you've ever been, Sam?
I'll say I took. I was doing bong rips one night, and I was the friend. I had a buddy. This was in college, but I was back home, the college by where I grew up. So all my friends from high school went there. Bowling Green State University, Northwest Ohio. It's like a country town with a liberal arts college in it, and we're getting high one summer night, and my buddy John is like, I don't know, man, I don't really want to get that. And I was like, come on, dog, fucking do it. So I made all my friends do bong rips, and then 20 minutes later, I was the guy, white as a sheet, like freaking out. And we were over at this guy Ross's house. I knew him, but then he was like, oh, my buddies are coming over, and it's just dudes I don't know, and I'm too high. So like each successive person that comes in that I don't know, I'm like, this guy's gonna kill us. And I was like, this guy's for sure gonna kill us. This
Right.
guy's gonna rape our dead body. I'm freaking out. So at one point it gets too much for me. And I'm like, I think I stand up. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I book it out of the house. I left my cell phone there, and I don't realize at the time, but I'm fully just having a panic attack. You know? And I'm like, oh no, I left my friends John and Dobes there, and they're gonna get killed. So then I'm doing like wide. This is like a suburban neighborhood, and I'm doing like wide laps around. Like I'm across the street, just walking back and forth in front of the house, and then I run around and I start going through the backyards, and I'm looking in the back windows of the house, and I do that until finally somebody like opens the front door of the house. And I found out later it was just my buddy Dobes looking for me, but I booked it when he opened the front door. And then I'm like, they know that I know what they were trying to do. They've killed my friends. And then I ran probably a good 2 miles to my friend Zach's house across town. And when I say ran, I mean I'm running through yards. This is at night.
Ferris Bueller style.
Truly.
Right.
I'm barrel rolling behind bushes. I hopped fences because I was, in my mind, every time I would go along the street, but I would see headlights and I would be like, that's them. They're fucking looking for you. And so I was going through people's yards. I did have a dog like start barking at me in a backyard, and I like hopped the other side of the fence again.
Snapped his neck, kept going.
Yeah. And then I just showed up at my friend Zach's house like at 5 a.m. He was still awake with his girlfriend. And then I was like, you got to call my cell phone. I think the Dobes and John are dead. I think they killed him. And they like picked up the phone and they were like, he's there? And then they just picked me up the next morning, and it was pathetic.
That's great.
Yeah. I wish I could get high, man. I really
You do get high.
I get like
We gotta get.
I get this high.
Will you get high with me on a Patreon episode? We'll take edibles.
I'll have such a bad time.
No. I'll be your Sherpa. I'll be there for you.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'll
but
bring you treats.
the listeners might love it.
They will love it. They'll love
Put
it.
yourself first, Sam.
for the sake
This
of
is a
content,
selfless act.
Would you? We'll watch a movie and we'll talk over the movie.
I'll think about it.
Let's get high and watch a movie. And here, if you don't want to talk, we don't have to put video on. It'll be just audio. With 2 microphones, I'll be out of my mind, so I'll probably be talking the whole time. You can be there, and we can, or you cannot. You can put the microphone down. And you can just enjoy the movie. Okay. And there'll be no pressure.
If it's too much, I'll run out of your apartment.
No, I'll put a blanket on you, a nice wet blanket.
A wet blanket.
Yeah, a wet blanket make you soft and smooth.
Be kind of a metaphor.
Can I tell you what happened to me actually this week?
100%.
So I'm at Tita's family's house.
Jersey.
In Jersey. We were watching the baby. Now here's the thing about them. Everyone goes to bed at 6 o'clock.
Really?
It's crazy. Also, for some reason, Tita told me this. She goes, I don't know why. In my house, it's always dark. Everyone turns all the lights out all the time. It's always pitch black in the house, and I don't know why. So everyone goes to bed at 6 p.m. I'm on my computer, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to just take an edible and get real fucking high and then watch things on my computer because everyone's asleep. I get real high. Tita's dad wakes up, and he decides he wants to be awake. But I'm way too high for this. Now, a fun thing that Tita's dad does is he likes to talk to me. He forgets, I guess when he gets real comfortable with you, he forgets that you don't know Thai. So he just starts talking to you in Thai.
No.
So I am high out of my mind. Her dad starts talking to me in Thai. I swear to God, I thought I could understand Thai. So this guy's talking to me in Thai, and I'm answering, and I don't know what I answered. I don't know what I was saying. He's just talking to me, and I'm going, yeah, it's like my favorite show. You know, it's like just going on and on and on. And then Tita comes in and she's like, he's not speaking English. And I'm like, I think I understand Thai now. And she's like, you don't. You're very high.
You know what's so funny?
Thank God you weren't talking to him in fake Thai.
I wasn't going to say what.
And you're like,
That's
ching
funny.
chong bing bong.
That'd be funny because you got to talk about this on
It's more like
stage.
it's more like bouncy language.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very weird.
You got to talk about that on stage because that's a funny turn to be like, thank God I was talking in English because there's a good chance I could have been like just doing fake Thai.
I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure I wasn't. I'm not. I'm
That's
really
so
not.
funny.
I'm just going. I should have made the attempt.
Yeah. Frankly, it's more embarrassing for him because you're high.
Yeah.
He just doesn't register that he's not speaking a
Yeah, you have a
language.
good excuse. What the fuck is his?
Right. But I think maybe he's like, Greg is such a good son. He learned my language. He also, in English, he only says the important words. Like, I don't know if I've ever told you that. Like, he'll walk by and he'll go. When I first met him, it's my favorite story ever. When I first met him, Tita goes, this is Greg's, my boyfriend. And he goes, Italian. Pasta. I know.
You just-
And that's my favorite thing. He goes, yeah, all right, that's it.
Yeah. Do you know this is I don't know if you know this. Is Thai a tonal language?
Yes. Very tonal.
That'll make it
It's
hard.
so hard.
Yeah.
Meaning the slightest inflection changes.
Yeah.
the
Yeah, it's like,
You say the same word differently, it becomes a different word.
Right.
and they don't have a word for. It's crazy. They don't have a word for grandparents.
Really?
And another thing that's crazy is like this is just a weird thing. Like, so my so they have grandkids now. Their son had grandkids, and their daughter had grandkids. It's a different word. They're called something different from the boy's kid and the girl's kid.
Really?
So it's like kunya and kuntai, but to them, when it's like kunta kinte and fucking bafangul. I don't know. It's some other shit. I don't know. It's some other shit. But it's like weird. They don't have like they don't have genders. That's the whole thing. It's all crazy. It seems impossible to understand.
Wow.
Wow.
How's the food? It's got to be good.
So her dad's he's Thai, but he came to America, worked at this restaurant called Le Cirque, which is like this out of control,
famous, right?
restaurant.
Yeah.
He was
Really?
a French chef.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he worked his way up and worked at this crazy restaurant. So we every now and again we'll be like, oh, well, we'll cook. And he goes, he doesn't like to go to restaurants because he hates everything. He just hates whatever.
Yeah.
But you pull out like I'm gonna make the steak, and he just goes, okay. He moves you out of the way, and then he cooks it. And it's the best thing you've ever had in your life. Yeah. And the mother makes this insane Thai food. And I told you that. Sorry to do 2 in a row.
No.
I took their dog. I was sick. I took the dog to the vet to take care of the dog. So to say thank you, she made me Thai noodles, but used spaghetti sauce. Like she was like, for you. Like she made pad Thai with
marinara
Spaghetti sauce.
no, with spaghetti noodles. So it was like more than I could digest it or something with, and I kid you not, a side of a pizza slice. It was the most offensive thing.
That's so funny.
But it was delicious. Both were delicious. Her mom's like an amazing Thai cook. She's like does all this great shit.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
No, they're the best. I love that family so much. I have to tell you one more high story, if that's okay.
I want to hear it.
I don't know if you were here for
And
this.
then I want to hear another high story from Greg. Let's
yeah.
do high stories.
I mean, we're almost done with the podcast, but now we got time. I don't know if you were here for this. We went to go see Star Trek, and the Chris Pine one that came out like 10 years ago or something, 12 years ago.
Okay.
It was Chris Hemsworth's like first movie.
Yeah.
And we smoked a bubbler, and I was the highest I'd ever been at that point. Where literally I had to sit on the ground and I held on to Anthony's shoelaces because I thought I was going to roll out of the building. I thought I was just going to roll back like as if the window, but I was holding onto his shoelaces. He's like, man, you're too high. We sit down for Star Trek. I don't know if you remember the movie. That movie, the beginning of that movie is Kirk essentially being born. Like it's Chris Hemsworth plays his dad, and it's like this: the ship is crashing, and then it goes Star Trek, right? So I'm watching this movie, fucking high out of my mind. The spaceship crashes, and I looked at Anthony and went, "That's the best movie I've ever seen." And I got up, and he goes, "It's a Star Trek," and he goes, "Dude, it's been 3 minutes." Like I thought we had watched the whole movie, and I'm like, "See you guys later." And I was like, "That worth the price of admission?" And I go to leave, and he was like, "Yeah, man, you still got a whole movie to watch." But I was like, "Oh, dude." And then in the beginning, sorry, to that other part to it. Some woman comes in and she starts going like, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am taking money for something," and like that, when things aren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why is this happening?" And this kid, Chris O'Brien. What's it? O'Brien's first name?
Who? Steve O'Brien.
Steve O'Brien.
Yeah.
I
remember
love Steve.
Steve.
Steve O'Brien,
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
funniest guys in the
Yeah.
world. Steve O'Brien looks at me. He goes, "Nah, man, that's not supposed to be happening. Like you're good." And I was like, all right. And yeah, okay. So that's it. That's how that goes.
I love that.
How about you, Doug?
Oh man, there's a lot.
I don't have to put you on the spot.
I got really cocky bringing weed to concerts at a certain point, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Also, my biggest freakouts are always at concerts. It's
Right.
just like sensory overload.
Yeah, it's too many people.
My knees buckle and I gotta part the crowd like the Red Sea, which is the most horrified look on my face.
Yeah.
Like I will die at their feet. But I went to see it was like one of Jack White's band. I think it was like the Dead Weather or something, like Terminal 5. And I'm like, I had gone to so many concerts, so I had this whole strategy of like hiding shit in my socks and stuff, and like never got a pat down. So I was like, fuck it, I don't need to hide it. I'll just walk right through there. So I had this was in like the one hitter days.
Yeah.
I don't use a one hitter anymore.
I still do. I still love him.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's if your lungs can handle it, good for you, man.
Why? Is that why it burns? Wait, tell me this.
Because it's just so direct.
Smoking piping hot painted metal. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it always
like
hurts me.
man. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was just
Supposed to.
weed.
It's God telling you that you're a bad dad.
What should I be doing? And I'll get back. So what should I be doing? Rolling a jaybird?
Yeah.
I just don't know how to do that. But that's okay. All right. So one hitter down.
Tones. So I have one of these like glass one hitters.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not a new one, so it's all coated in resin and looks gross. And I got the thing in my back pocket, and I'm approaching the security guard, and she's like this 4'2" bald black woman who's as round as she is tall,
Right.
just like fucking hulking, like ready to throw down.
Real grape looking bitch.
Yeah, grape looking bitch.
Real cantaloupe,
Real
motherfucker.
California raisin. So she just she looks like she gets off on busting people bringing in contraband, So I'm starting to sweat a little bit. And she starts to pat me down, and sure enough, she hits my ass pocket. She goes, "What you got back here?" And she pulls it out. Pulls out this dirty fucking resin-coated glass one-hitter. And I was already high as shit. My eyes were all bloodshot. She goes, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. That's a weed one-hitter." She goes, "Man, that's a crack pipe." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "You can't be bringing a crack pipe into a concert." And I was like,
for her.
"Ma'am, it's not a crack pipe.
She's
I
right.
swear. Just smell it. You'll see that it's not a crack pipe." She's like, "Man, I ain't smelling your damn crack pipe. Get the fuck out of here." I was like, "Ma'am, it's not a crack pipe. It smells like weed. If you just smell it, you'll know that it's not a crack pipe. Get the fuck out of here. I smell you.
You
goddamn
crack smoking motherfucker.
Throws the pipe in the trash can. She goes, "Get your ass in there." She lets me go in. She has no idea that I do have a whole
crack pipe.
pack of weed in my sock. So then I went to the bar. I got a beer. I watched the bartender throw the can in the trash can. I pulled the can out of the trash and made my own fucking can bong in the theater.
No shit.
What a win, right?
Wow.
Big
But
win.
my crack pipe was sadly met its
That's a
demise.
fucking crack pipe. Ma'am, it's for weed.
Yeah.
That's so funny to be afraid to have the switch to go, like you're going from I'm afraid that they're going to find my weed paraphernalia to then being like defending it as weed paraphernalia. It's like, no, I'm trying to get high.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shouting, "It's weed! I have weed!"
Dude, I had this happened twice. I'm gonna tell you the good one, not the bad one. The bad time this happened, I was real mad, but the good time I actually won. So first time it happened, went to a concert. I was going to at Irving Plaza. Who the fuck was I going to see? Oh, I was going to see A$AP Rock, which was whatever. A guy finds my flight box, which was it was like an old vape thing, right?
Yeah.
He just throws it away. And I was like, nah, man, I'll leave the concert. I'd rather have that than the fucking concert. And he's like, want to get it? Call the cops. Some bullshit. And I'm like, fuck. I was so mad. And I was like, this time, whatever. A few years later, Irving Plaza again. I don't know if it was the same security guard, but I had I hid my vape pen this time, but it wasn't a pen. It was like a Pax or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Those early vape pens were not good. I remember
Right.
getting a vape pen and being so excited. I could smoke in a movie theater, and I
Yeah.
did it in the bathroom. I was like, "That's fucking smoke."
this was like it would burn the weed though, right? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a thing. It was like a thing. Guy goes, Sam, I really want you here on the podcast to be in the moment, all right? I know you're making their Iron Man blow Spider-Man.
that's
Spider-Man
fine.
blow.
I wanted a good picture of you behind Spider-Man blowing Iron
We can
Man.
do it after the podcast.
I'm sorry.
It looks like Spider-Man is reaching for another dude to peg the guy. behind while he's
gesturing
getting
him in.
sucked off.
Keep going.
I hate that I have to pull. I have to be a teacher.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So
I applaud you. It's a work of art.
I knew these would be a distraction, having all these stupid toys. So the guy, and this isn't a great story, but I have my vape pen. He finds it on me. He goes, "What the fuck is this?" Throws it out again, and I went, "Hey man, that's my inhaler."
Oh, nice.
Right? And I was like, "I fucking need that shit." And he was like, "I wasn't in shit." Other guy, a security guard, was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "He threw out my inhaler." And he made the other guy dig through the garbage to find it and gave it back to me.
Did it actually look like an inhaler?
No, it was a patch too. It looked nothing like an inhaler. But if you call medical,
Yeah.
usually you can get away with something. That's how I get my CPAP on airplanes. Always call medical.
That's a very good question, though. Isn't it crazy, though? I mean, now most weed is legal in most states, but isn't it crazy that at no point, they make one hitters that look like cigarettes?
No, they made them.
these-
They look like an inhaler.
Did they really?
Yeah, I wanted to buy it, but it was too expensive.
Oh, wow. I'm
Yeah.
glad, because that's a fucking brilliant move.
Absolutely. And then,
The insane amount of albuterol comes out of your
So
mouth.
funny.
Yeah.
You think I'm a nerd, but I'm actually cool as fuck.
So cool, bro. Very cool.
awesome.
Sorry to. Oh, you can look that up, Max, if you want. I don't know. Max is too drunk now. This guy had one drink. He's drunk out of his head. How are we doing on time, by the way?
We're 53 minutes in.
How's everyone doing? I felt like this went a little. Is everyone happy?
I feel good. Yeah. I'm fine.
I had a good one. Do you have any more stories?
No, I'm okay. I don't get that high.
I can tell you a bubbler story. You said you got rocked off a bubbler once. Bubblers are like, you don't find those very often these
Rocked.
days.
No, I don't know. Yeah.
They're so cool looking. It's like a fucking slide whistle of weed paraphernalia.
Yeah, it was like a glass thing, and there was like water in it, and it would
Bit
like.
of water. Yeah.
Yeah. It got me. I think it was like the highest I'd ever been when it was off the bubbler.
My first time smoking a bubbler was at a friend of a friend's house. I grew up in like a quaint and, kind of bougie Connecticut town, Ridgefield. We went to Norwalk as like the next closest city. And a friend of a friend, this dude was like 18 years old, but he looked like a 40-year-old ex-con, just like shaved head, tatted up,
Yeah.
grill. I was definitely like fish out of water, out of my element, but like super nice guy. And he has like this 4-month-old pit bull puppy, and he's handing me the bubbler. This was like one of my first times smoking weed. So first hit off this bubbler, I'm fucking zooted, and I immediately know like this will be a part of my life for the rest of my life. And this puppy, they have wall-to-wall carpeting in this apartment. This puppy pisses on the rug, gets up, walks away. This dude grabs a Febreze bottle, just sprays the puddle of piss, and just leaves it there. Just sprays the piss and walks away. This puppy does this like 6 more times over the course of me hanging out there. So there's just puddles of dog piss
that he's just
that are just saturated with Febreze. Not a single paper towel comes out.
Also, bleach and ammonia, that could start killing people.
That's a very good point.
That's poison.
But I'm like so fucking OCD and always have been that I'm like high as shit that I cannot focus on anything else. I'm just eyeballing all these piss puddles on the carpet that have not been soaked up. They have not been cleaned. They're just sprayed with Febreze. Like this guy thinks that Febreze is like this magical thing that just makes weed.
Like Vaporizer. I
makes
forgot what movie that was.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it like ruined my high. I'm like, there he goes. There he goes. Clean it up.
I'd be fine with cleaning it. I'd go, fuck it, I'm just going to clean it. I'll clean it. I don't need this. I don't need this. I'm too high. I don't need this shit.
You gotta let me do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember, I'll finish that story. I'm with Andrew Short, Jess Watkins, DeVito.
Yeah.
We're in Alejandro, who was Jess's old boyfriend. That guy was great, man.
Yeah, sure.
They made these trays of pot brownies. And I'm like, it's like one of the first times I'm ever really having edibles or whatever. And I'm like, all right. So they all eat them. And they're all like, wow, I'm getting high. And I went, I'm not getting anything. And Andrew Short, classic move. I'm sure so many people have been through this.
Yeah.
Andrew goes, you're too big. You got to eat more. So I ate 6. 6 of these unregistered pot brownies that they made in their basement. I don't know if you got so high. I got so high that one, I forgot how to swallow. So I started drinking water. I'm like, I don't know how to swallow. I think I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And I look over at Anthony, and he's in the same position, and we're both too high. But we met in the high world. And I'm like, man, I don't know what I am anymore. And he's like, I don't know what I am. And I'm like, well, we're together. And we just kind of held hands. We were just holding hands on this. And I'm like, we're both way too fucking high.
Yeah.
On the couch, melted into the couch. And we lived in Astoria. And then I'm like, I got to go home. I don't know how to do this. And Alejandro's guy's an angel. He goes, don't worry, guys. I'll walk you guys home. I'll walk you guys home.
That's really sweet.
Don't worry. I'll take you there. It's 2 blocks away. Not a big deal. Plus, there's like secret passageways in Astoria. Like, I don't know how to explain this to people who don't live here. It's like, there's like, they have driveways in between the blocks. So there's like these little like walkways you can go through that'll bring you, you can essentially cut through the middle of blocks. So we walk outside. First thing we see is some guy doing Tai Chi. And I'm like, what? It's the middle of the night, and there's a man in a karate gi doing Tai Chi outside. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? There's ninjas? Why are there ninjas? And Alejandro, this angel, he goes, that's okay. That's not supposed to be happening. That's weird for everybody. That is weird for it. Just letting you know, that's weird for everybody, but we're pretty sure it's okay. We keep walking. Someone runs by us with a flat screen TV. just runs by with a flat screen TV. I'm like, what the fuck? People robbing TVs? Running with a flat screen TV, and then 2 people chasing after that guy. And Alejandro goes, again, not normal, a little weird, but I think we're okay. All this weird shit kept happening. We go home, and I'm not sure if this is the same story the same day. And Tita looks at me and she goes, this is back before she used to like not like when I would get high. She went, are you high? And I was like, huh? Yeah. I was like, I'm too high and I'm sorry. And she was like, it's fine. And then I went into Anthony's room and we just laughed for hours. And then I come out and she was crying because she was like, she didn't like, I don't know, I guess she didn't like I was having fun or something. I guess it freaked her out. I don't know. And it went from like one of the best highs to one of the worst nights of my life.
Yeah, that can happen. Do you remember when we did that gig at a Thai restaurant in Far Rockaway? Do you remember that?
What?
It was me, you, Anthony,
Yes.
Matt Wayne. I think there was one other person. And we had to take like 3 trains at the Far Rockaway.
Oh.
We all got asked to do this show at a Thai restaurant in Far Rockaway. We get there, we get off the train. We have no idea that we have to walk through projects to get to this restaurant. We're playing Heart Greatest Hits on my fucking flip phone, like blasted, like belting it out of the top of our lungs, like how do I get you alone? Just walking through the project.
Great
Just a
song.
couple of dumb drunk whites. We get there, we do this gig. It was hosted by this guy who seemed totally normal when he introduced himself. He was like, I'm just gonna do like 10 minutes up top, then I'll
I don't remember this.
I think I went first. And he's like, then I'll bring you up. He goes from being perfectly normal to putting on like a rubber like dog.
The dog face.
Now, yeah,
That was
the
that
string, and
That's why I almost fought this person.
and his alter ego was Sheila, the dog-faced lady.
Yep.
And the whole costume was just a rubber dog snout that covered his nose. And then he walked up on stage and goes, "I'm Sheila, the dog-faced lady," and everybody. This is like families there.
This is insane.
It's like an ambush show.
So they know. Even people that are watching are like,
Yeah.
What's this dog face person?
Yes. It is. So he does this whole like he does. I can't remember what we were all looking at each other like, what the fuck?
It was like
guy. What is he doing?
It was like a burlesque show, but it wasn't burlesque. It was like something like a big gay act would do, but there was none of that element. It was just like
There was
I'm a straight comic.
showmanship whatsoever. No
I'm gonna do some
singing, no
shit
dancing.
too. I'm the dog. I'm Sheila the dog face, and it was weird.
It was very.
Do you remember how this ends?
So I remember how it ends for me.
Yeah, keep going because I have some notes about this.
So we all do our set. We're eating shit. You know, there's people trying to enjoy dinner with their families. They don't want us there. So we all fucking bomb. We get hammered. We're smoking weed on the walk back to the train. It was my first time eating halal food. I went to a halal truck. I got 2 things of chicken and rice.
that was your first time having halal.
Devoured them. It set me off on a bad
I
precedent
love
where I was
halal.
eating halal 5 days a week while I was dog walking.
Yeah,
convincing
buddy.
myself that I was healthy. I was like, it's chicken and rice.
I know.
Very good.
I had that when I was dog walking, and I decided I had a friend visit, and I was like, you got to have this. I have it every day. You can only get it here from my lady.
Yeah.
And then we each got one, and he goes, you eat one of these every day? And it just registered. I was like, oh, this is not good. Anyway.
I had that with you once.
Sodium intake is off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
I one day ate I told you about how I eat bacon, egg, and cheese on a hero every day,
Yeah.
and you went, you eat a hero egg and cheese sandwich every day? That's too much, man. I went, oh yeah, maybe that's why I'm 100 pounds overweight. But anyway,
A bold move.
you got 2 halal.
So 2 halal, wolfing it down on the fucking train platform. We're all baked and drunk, and we get on the train, and we're just acting a fool on the train. We got the whole train and car to ourselves. I decide to hang upside down from the handrail from the back of my knees, like I'm at a playground, right? And I'm doing all these shenanigans, and you guys are laughing and cheering me on. Don't remember getting home at all. Just remember waking up the next morning and be like, man, what a fucking wild night. I'm checking my pockets. I got my wallet. I got my phone. My wife had just bought me a new iPod Nano, and I can't find it. And I was like, I'm sure it's.
Oh, no.
And then we're all sending pictures. Like we're all taking pictures of each other that night. And I think you sent me a picture of me hanging upside down from the.
Oh no!
I zoom in on the picture, and on the floor of the train is my fucking iPod.
No.
Fuck.
There it is.
And then I had to break the news to my wife. I was like, remember that birthday present you got me? I lost it last night.
Man, I don't know if we're combining stories or so. I have a memory of that. I remember that, but So the dog face woman, that wasn't a Thai restaurant. It was a theater. Unless this dog face is getting around. It was like a theater that was in Far Rockaway that was like they put on like kids shows or something weird. But it was high up. Anyway, doesn't
I
really,
remember it was almost like the place was cool. It felt like kind of island, like something you find like Tahiti. Like it was on these stilts.
Yes.
On the ocean.
Yes. So maybe it was a Thai restaurant. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember this. Anthony goes on, and behind him is this giant white sheet. And so as Anthony's trying to do his act, he can't really figure out why he's not getting laughs. And what happened was there was a light blasting against the white sheet. So behind him, the dog face person goes and he's just doing shadows on the white sheet. So you can't see him. You just see these shadows of being like, what's this? Blah, blah. He's like heckling with shadows and Anthony can't see it. And so he's like, what the fuck is going on here? And I see this and I get furious. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Dog face? Like, this isn't about you. Also, we came an hour and 40 minutes on trains to get here. So I go and I'm like, hey, dog face, come. I'm like going backstage. I'm like, come here. Come here. Right? And he's like, what? And I'm like, the fuck? I start getting in this guy's face. Who the fuck do you think you are? You're fucking ruining some guy's set. The fuck? I'm like, I snap on this guy. And I do think he was gay because I remember him immediately then going, huh? Like he then went feminine as to like, why are you picking on me? And I'm like, no, you're fucking ruining my man's show. And then by that time, Anthony's off and he sees me like almost
Fighting this guy?
fighting the dog face opener who like doesn't get that like you shouldn't be doing that. And we ended up going, and then Doug lost his iPod and we went home, but I almost fought dog face.
Yeah.
Who I don't know if they were gay or straight, but they were a half man, half dog.
No, they were. Yeah, that was. I'll never forget him.
That was crazy.
That'd be great if he went full dog mode on you while you're getting in his face.
Yeah, he starts barking. Well, I put him down. I put the dog down. Anyway, you ever talk to a dog? All right, we'll end here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to the pod with my main man, Sam Evans. Throw this guy a follow. Really, Sam Evans?
At gmail.com.
At Gmail is his email.
At Who Doug Smith.
That's me.
Yeah. You don't have a podcast or anything, huh?
I don't yet. I'm working on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but yeah, I may have. I applaud you for doing DIY style. I'm trying to like get it on a fucking network and probably have them.
This is a network. DIY. We're at the above the Comedy Cellar.
Well, you started it on your own though.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I don't think that really helped me though. I don't know.
Well,
no podcast.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. Also follow Max Marcus Comedy. And please, again, I know I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. Check out the Patreon, man. We got a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of really funny stuff on there. And I just keep putting stuff on too. I try to throw up random things and all that shit. And also, hey, if you've got a good high story, shoot me a message and I'll read it on my Instagram. You could be credited or not credited, whatever you want to do. Thank you guys so much. Whip it up, whip it up, whip it up for everybody who came out. Good night. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Pick up your head, pick up your body. Get on the bus, it's time to party. It's Gregory. It is a Saturday night, Gregory. Take your socks off and take your pants on. Get in the car.